Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim for the Real Sports Talk. You can hit me up at Twitter at CashKelly_TRST, and make sure right above this video you hit the subscribe button to get some great sports talk. Peyton Manning, after 14 seasons in Indianapolis, I mean, if you would have told me this 10 months ago, that Peyton Manning, after just signing a 5-year, $90 million extension, which I said at the time seemed like quite a bit of money, even though everyone else seemed to think it was more of a discount. I said for a guy that's in his mid-30s, that seems like a lot of money. And ultimately, we know how the season went down. I don't think anyone foresaw the Colts being that bad this season, and they ultimately ended up being only 2-14. And what did they start? 0-12, 0-13, something like that. So it took them quite a while, and it really showed how much that Peyton Manning meant to that team. As far as him actually getting released, it's not that I didn't know it was coming, because the Colts could not go ahead and pick up that 4 years remaining on the deal for $70 whatever million that is left on that deal. It would have been bad business, and that's ultimately what this is. It's a business decision. And while you love to keep your star players, and I mean, Peyton Manning goes far beyond being a star player. This is one of the top 5 quarterbacks to ever wear a helmet in the NFL. So, I mean, it goes far beyond being a star. But you like to end pretty with those type of guys, but ultimately, you have to do what's best for your team for the long coming. And maybe Andrew Luck is that. From what I've seen from Andrew Luck, I think he'll be a solid NFL quarterback. I don't think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback. That's from what I've seen so far. I don't know. I wasn't high on Cam Newton, though, either, so, and that looks pretty good right now. Peyton Manning, what he meant to the Colts, I don't think it can be said enough, because all the years that Tom Brady had a great defense and no wide receivers, Peyton Manning had very good wide receivers, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison. But, I mean, he made tight ends like Dallas Clark. I think if you see Pierre Garçon and Anthony Gonzalez and Reggie Wayne go somewhere else this next season, you will see how much it affects them. We saw it with them this year. Without Peyton Manning, they weren't nearly as good. And I know that they're playing with Dan Orlowski and everyone like that, no question. But they were also not even at the type of level that they were at. And I mean, I've heard guys like Pierre Garçon say, or maybe it was Austin Collie, one of the 2 deals with them, that he is so good that his ball, when he throws it, almost catches itself. I mean, I cannot say enough about what Peyton Manning meant to that Colts organization over the past 14 seasons. One of the greatest runs as a quarterback of all time. I really cannot. It's hard to believe this happened, really. We knew I came to the conclusion about a month ago that this was a lock, it was going to happen, it was just a matter of time. But even seeing the breaking news, it's like, you got to read that 2 or 3 times to really see that he is not going to be with the Indianapolis Colts next season. It's tough. Andrew Luck, I wish him the best of luck, but he's going to have some gigantic shoes to fill, and hopefully if he's smart, he doesn't try and fill those shoes. He tries to make his own legacy, because we've seen guys try and fill superstar shoes and Hall of Famer shoes, come after them, and it doesn't work well. And then we've seen guys like Steve Young and Aaron Rodgers follow those Hall of Famers and try and go up and have better careers, or at least Hall of Fame careers. Steve Young obviously had a Hall of Fame career, did not have a better career than Joe Montana. And Aaron Rodgers, in my mind, probably will end up having a better career than Brett Favre. That's how good he is. So if Andrew Luck is smart, that's what he'll do. Peyton Manning's legacy. As far as the playoffs, I know that his record is not as great, but you cannot just look at Peyton Manning and say, oh, it's singularly on the quarterback. In a lot of those games, the defense did not play well, and overall the offense did not produce. You got to look at the fact that he did not have a big running game since Edgerrin James left. And I mean, everyone makes it sound like that was recently. That was 2004. Edgerrin James hasn't even been in the league for 3 or 4 seasons now, let alone with the Indianapolis Colts. He spent 3 or 4 bad years with the Arizona Cardinals. So, I mean, to not have Peyton, I'm probably repeating this a ton of times, but to not have him in a Colts uniform, it just blows my mind, because essentially, since I've watched football, Peyton Manning has been an Indianapolis Colt, and it's going to be really weird to see him in another uniform. And I believe that he will go on to go somewhere else and be successful. I think that he'll end up with either the Dolphins or the Redskins. If the Redskins get RG3, then obviously he won't end up there. I think that the Dolphins make the most sense for him in all likelihood. And can you imagine that in Miami? You go from a few years ago, a sports town that was essentially a wasteland, to now having LeBron James, Dwayne. I mean, I know they had Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Hanley Ramirez, who they did have, Jose Reyes, the whole Marlins deal, and then to get Peyton Manning down there, it would be nuts. It'd be nuts. And I think at age 35, if you look at what Peyton Manning did in his last season, and I think that it's a matter of, everyone's asked me, well, how do you know he's going to come back and be so successful? Because I'd take him on the Eagles any day. I'm an Eagles fan. How do you know that? I think if he signs with the team, you're going to have a pretty good idea that he's going to be successful. And from what we've heard over the past few weeks, he's been working out at Duke, and he has looked really good. So I believe long-term, Peyton Manning has 2 or 3 really solid, high-level, potentially even MVP-level type seasons in him. I don't know if he'll ever win another MVP. He has the most in NFL history, 4, which adds even more to his legacy. Peyton Manning, no longer with the Indianapolis Colts. Where does he go next? I really could not tell you exactly. I think that the Dolphins and the Redskins appear to be the 2 favorites right now, but that there's going to be a lot of teams interested. The Cleveland Browns would be interested. And the way that they're going to structure these contracts, I know a lot of fans are going to say, I can foresee this coming now. A lot of fans would say, so let's say he signs with the Browns, oh, well, he's making so much money, we don't even know he's going to be, and we're going to give up on Colt McCoy. What he's going to do, and what we've heard that he is willing to do, is take an incentive-laced contract, which means that, or incentive-laden, I should say, which means that ultimately he's not going to make a ton of money if he doesn't produce. He's going to make money based on how he produces over the next few seasons, and that's not necessarily something you want to have, but it might be something that Peyton Manning needs to have. And if he has 1 or 2 good seasons, you might see him end up restructuring his deal. This guy, he calls his own plays. He does it all. He comes to the line, looks at the defense, how it's set up, and he calls his own play. Peyton Manning has basically been the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, especially since Tony Dungy retired and all that's gone down. Peyton Manning released from the Colts. It will go down tomorrow according to Chris Mortenson at ESPN. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. Man, Albert Pujols gone from the Cardinals and Peyton Manning gone from the Colts. 2 things we never thought we would hear, and yet they both happened in the last 6 months.